In this video lecture session, we will be discussing about the importance of selecting reference planes, which we discussed just the introduction in our earlier video lecture. So, how it is important, that I will show you in couple of examples. Let us say I will start from scratch for creating the features. I will select the front as the plane and I will be placing my required sketch here. I will trim the bottom portions and inside parts. I need this as my sketch. You can see the correctness of this sketch, whether this is properly connected or not, by using the diagnosis tool. Section must contain geometric entities is there, section must be closed is satisfied, the feature specific requirement is also fulfilled. This you can directly see. Now you can check this, yes, this is properly filled. Is there any open end? No. Is there any intersection? No. So this is properly satisfied, and you can define all the requisite dimensions. 105 and 145, and I am going to OK. Control D to see the 3D orientation. I'll position in symmetric way, and this is 50. This is my feature. I'll be shifting this to the top plane. So how to do? You go to the feature, select the sketch, right click, edit definition, then move to sketch setup, then you will get this dialog box. So now we are with front and right side control, because this is right oriented. Now I am changing the front to top and go to sketch. You can see one reference will get filled because I am presently working with top. So when you are working with top cannot be referenced. So of course the front has to be the reference. So just you omit the particular plane where you are working and automatically the shifting will be done. Now it is with respect to the top plane. In this way you can control the positioning of different planes and features with respect to each other. Now we will look in our session how to create a revolve section and understand the dashboard control as well. I am going to open the example file for doing revolve. Exercise 6. I am switching off the datum planes, points and coordinate. Only you can see the axis with the section. So this is the external sketch which you have defined. But one thing I will show you, that for revolve I have considered this as the geometry center line, not this center line. So geometry center line converts this to physical axis, and here we have the closed section. Let us define the dimensions. 50, and here this is 75, and this is 140, this is 225, this is 100, and this is 300. You can align to the screen properly. If you orient the sketch, you can align the screen to properly. And I am selecting this particular line, right click and horizontal. I am selecting this particular line, right click, horizontal. I am selecting this particular line, right click, horizontal, where you can apply the constraint, and whichever is violating, that you can delete it. This 140 I can delete, so that will be horizontal. This from the center line how far you need to keep, that you can maintain. Here also how far it is from the center line, it is 100. Now go to accept. This is my final geometry. You go to revolve, and once you go to revolve, here you see the dashboard as the placement is asking for selecting sketch. Just when you select the sketch, the revolution will start. And here you can see the on link also. You can detach this sketch and automatically one sketch will be created within this. Now you can go to this option and you can see the variable option. Let us say I am going for 270. How this 270 is operated, from which location? This is the absolute 0. In the clockwise direction, the rotation is counted from this 0, 0 location. And you can define the other side also. From this side, how much you need to have? 25 degrees, and from this side I need 120 degree. So this is the sketch from where in the anti-clock direction 25 and in the clockwise direction 120s. Like this you can control the parameters from this particular option. Once you define by using the external sketch, you can see automatically the sketch is defined and this is disabled. You can go to right click and you can unhide it so that you can see this again. And now I will be applying the thickness option as well. And also we will see how to revolve a open section by using this thickness orientation option, and how to apply the center line of the axis of revolution if you have multiple axes. That also we will see. So let us see how to apply the thicken. I will go to revolve, I will select the thicken option. The thickness is 10, let us say, or 5 maybe. I am selecting this particular sketch and I am defining the angle as 125, and you can see this particular sketch is thickened with that particular thickness throughout this. In the same way, we will look how to define the axis of revolution. I am going to right click and go to unhide, and I am right clicking this and going to edit definition. I am defining here multiple axes. Here I am having one axis, here also I am having one axis, and here also I am having one axis. 3 axes I am having. I am going to revolve and I am selecting this particular sketch. Then I can define the particular axis whichever is required. Or you can go to right click and you can define axis of revolution, maybe this, or maybe this. So in this way you can define the axis of revolution and you can shift or switch the revolution pattern. And orientation of the datum plane already I have shown, from the clock and anti-clock direction how you can control. This already we saw. Now we will see with different datum planes how you can control the rotations. You can see the preview before opening the model. I am deleting this particular option. I am switching on this. This is the sketch which is placed with respect to your right side plane, and when you revolve it with respect to this particular plane and you start understanding the rotation concept from 0, 0, which is your 0. Wherever the sketch is placed, the 0 is starting from that locations. Just like that, if you have your particular sketch in some other plane, from that plane the 0 will be counted. So this is basically the primary understanding which you need to understand from this particular approach. Maybe I will show you this particular option by switching to some other plane. I will go to right click the sketch and edit definition, and I will go to sketch setup, and I am selecting the sketch as the front, and I will go to sketch. One reference is deleted. As top is there and working in front will, of course, it will fail, and I will have to select right as my reference. This is the right side, and go to close. OK it. Now this is front oriented, and when you apply the revolve and you apply, let us say, 180, from this particular location the 180 is started. This is what our primary understanding which we are seeing in this particular problem. The revolve can be done from that particular plane with 0, 0. These are the cases. With respect to front, how you can control. With respect to right, how you can control. Now we will see how to control different views scheme. If you go to open and you open one particular example, one is trimetric and one is isometric. Here you can see by default, the default orientation whichever you have is isometric or trimetric, that you can set. Go to tools, go to environment, and here you can see the trimetric. Once you change to isometric and apply, your views orientation will automatically get changed. So we prefer trimetric because you can see all the vertices in a clear perspective view. So it's better to practice with trimetric as your default view. In our coming video session, we will be discussing about parent-child relationship and nesting up sketch. Thank you.